And then Cunningham gets into the face of DiJonai Carrington. So clearly was a foul, was called.
Men should not play sports against women. I'm not going to get into all the bullshit that's going on out here in the world today. If anybody think that, I think they're stupid.
August 8th, 2026, and only 3 minutes into the first quarter. DiJonai Carrington chased down Cunningham on a breakaway layup, bringing her entire left arm across Cunningham's face and neck. Cunningham could not control her fall as she went crashing to the floor. She hit the ground hard. Charles Barkley, a Hall of Famer and one of the most brutally honest voices in sports television, has finally had enough of the basketball world's growing explosion. He has no patience for cheap shots being disguised as professional basketball. Subscribe now for the most explosive WNBA updates and viral basketball moments.
I mean, look, it was a hard foul. I don't think that DiJonai intentionally came out to get her across the neck like she did. But it did happen, and I thought it was the right call. But, you know, one of the things about Nay is that she's going to play her butt off, man. She's going to compete. Nobody's going to go walking in for a layup. And so I don't oppose the hard foul. But I also don't think that she intentionally went for the.
DiJonai Carrington posted on Threads about white privilege at Indiana Fever just 8 minutes after the foul, while Cunningham was still on the floor being examined and her teammates were pulling her away from Carrington.
Carrington is such an unserious person, because what do you mean you commit a flagrant 2 and then you go to Threads and play the victim?
Now trying to prevent the layup, but that is just a hard hit. That's definitely going to be upgraded, I think, to a flagrant 2, Ryan.
I think that is going to be a flagrant 2. There is wind up, there is follow through, there's potential for injury.
Like, that was such a clear flagrant 2. Like, clearly she almost took Sophie's head off, and I don't even like Sophie, and she got me on this internet defending Sophie, like, but that was a clear flagrant 2. Like, there is no question about it. So the fact that she went to Threads, and anybody called this, like, everybody knew she was about to go to Threads as soon as she got ejected from the game. And then the fact that she tagged the Indiana Fever, what does the Fever got to do with it? The refs are who threw you out the game. It has nothing to do with the Fever. And to say white privilege, like, I'm just so confused. You are the one who fouled her. Like, what is not clicking? And it was 100% done on purpose. And I can only assume it's because of all of Sophie Cunningham's comments that she's been making to the media in the last couple of weeks about biological men and women's sports and all that. And like I said, I don't even like Sophie Cunningham, but girl, that was definitely a flagrant 2. At this point, I just have to assume that DiJonai loves attention and clout, because you clearly wanted attention when you committed that flagrant 2, and you wanted attention when you went to Threads. I mean, this is the same person who outed her relationship drama.
The next matchup between these two teams is scheduled for August 23rd, and that was posted before Cunningham had even left the court. The woman who had just struck her in the face and been ejected for it then posted about white privilege.
With me, take a walk with me, take a walk with me. There is craziness going on in the WNBA. DiJonai Carrington tweeted out white privilege from the locker room of a game that she was playing in. Get this. She fouled Sophie Cunningham hard. Sophie Cunningham, obviously a white person, fouled her hard. Flagrant 2, gets ejected, goes to the locker room and tweets out white privilege in the middle of the game. Now, here's the kicker to me. A flagrant 2 has to be contact that can lead to an injury that looks excessive. DiJonai, it was about as excessive as possible. If there was any evidence of there being white privilege, this was...
That is not simple frustration during competition. That is not a mistake made in the heat of the moment. The entire basketball world was shown through DiJonai Carrington's carefully worded public statement exactly how she viewed the foul.
That's it. I mean, you know, I got my teammate back always, so just to get out the way.
Gotta ask about her response. She went in and she got on social and said white privilege after her getting...
Who did this?
DiJonai did. Any response to that?
No, I don't know anything about that.
Carrington chased Cunningham as she moved ahead of the pack for a breakaway layup, then swung her left arm downward across Cunningham's face and neck. Cunningham could not brace herself and fell directly onto her backside. Initially, the play was described as a brazen one. It was reviewed by officials, upgraded to a flagrant 2, and Carrington was ejected.
Cunningham was brutally fouled in the face during today's game, and the offending player, DiJonai Carrington, was ejected after officials ruled her hit a flagrant 2. But after the ejection, Carrington posted, quote, white privilege. on social media and tagged the Indiana Fever. The on-court drama follows weeks of backlash and protests against Cunningham for speaking out against including transgender athletes in the W.
Cunningham quickly got back up and headed straight toward Carrington, who was near the baseline. She shouted at her and pushed her, while Michaela Timson and Fever security stepped in and pulled her away as Carrington headed through the tunnel. Sky fans cheered. A player had just been ejected for a flagrant foul on a breakaway layup that sent her opponent crashing to the floor, and the home crowd celebrated.
Bro, that could kill her, right? And the WNBA, right? The people that run that league, if you're DiJonai here and you have a foul like that, I don't want to hear about, okay, that's a flagrant 2 and you get this sort of fine. She should be suspended for the rest of this.
The Indiana Fever walked into that arena on August 8th. Cunningham had to play there just a week after her transgender remarks had made her a political target. And the player who struck her across the face was given a standing ovation as she headed toward the locker room. After being ejected, Carrington wrote about white privilege and mentioned the Fever in a post on her Threads account. On August 23rd, the teams meet again. She also made 2 social media posts 8 minutes after the controversial ejection.
As you said, Tommy, oh, whoops, this is intentional. This was targeting Sophie Cunningham, and I don't care if the player is white or black. It does not matter. When you do this to somebody, this is horrible for the league. Obviously, this was done because Sophie Cunningham stood up for women, saying that men shouldn't play against women in sports because there is obviously a chromosome advantage, just like you see with steroids.
White privilege and a date. DiJonai Carrington chose to make sure Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark's teammate heard what she had to say. I thought it was definitely unnecessary. I've never really spoken to her and have no beef with her, but I guess she has some pent-up stuff, so get yourself off, Cunningham said after the game. That's okay.
This rant against cab driver, and of course, knocked the hell out of Caitlin Clark from behind her rookie year, but that's okay. I'm not mad at that kind of basketball. That's all good, but the problem is after. It was
your belongings. 3 phrases: no drama, no victimization, and no terror. Everyone is welcome at her table. According to the same Sophie Cunningham, who has said she wants to protect young girls participating in sports and has also said she offers love. Sophie Cunningham hit the floor without being able to brace herself after taking a blatantly offensive arm across her face and neck. She then stood up and confronted Carrington directly, before watching her get ejected. I saw her post about white privilege 8 minutes after, she said. I said, get your stuff off. That's all right.
I want you to think logically and please comment on this. White girl goes to the basket. African-American woman knocks her on her ass, clothesline her, knocks her down, upgraded to a flagrant 2. Black girl kicked out, and it's all because of white privilege. Let me know what you think. I think it's typical WNBA stupidity.
Cunningham made it clear that her objection had nothing to do with race in response to Carrington's comments. It has nothing to do with race. It has nothing to do with race. That was the position of the woman who had just taken the foul. Even so, Carrington posted about white privilege. The reaction was applauded by the audience on August 8, 2026. This is the WNBA. And this is why the situation has become much bigger than one egregious foul.
So fucking sick of the Indiana Fever and Sophie Cunningham. I really, really mean it. And I really have been trying to just keep my mouth shut because the rabid-ass, racist-ass fan base makes it insufferable to actually talk about basketball with people, one, who know the game, who used to play the game, and understand sometimes things just happen in the game. DiJonai got ejected in the first quarter in the Chicago Sky versus Indiana Fever. Sophie Cunningham went up for a layup. DiJonai went to block it, right? Flying in the air. When she went to smack, she missed the ball, hit Sophie's head. I have not played basketball since junior high. That happened to me before. But where I'm at now with it is, one, everything Sophie Cunningham does in the game is for social media. Everything she does in that game is for social media's response, no matter what. Why? Because she's a mid-ass player in the fucking league. And yes, I am a person who has not played basketball since junior high, but I can say she is a mid player in the league, look at her stats, who understands that where her opportunity is being a social media meme, clip, soundbite. And she will do that by any means, because at this point, that's making her off-court money. What irritates me is, one, DiJonai getting the flagrant 2. I don't think that it should have been a flagrant 2, because the intent to hurt, I don't think that there was an intent to hurt. When you go up to block the ball, especially in a layup, sometimes that shit happens. However, what I'm going to talk about is the aftermath. Sophie getting up and getting in DiJonai's face, and you physically see DiJonai say, stop, stop, stop. With the public, the people who support Sophie Cunningham and the Fever, resulting in such blatant racism, in such social media attacks on any team, any player that is opposing the Fever, Sophie, Caitlin Clark, and especially being black, it results in such racism. Not only now are the players like, hey, I know if I'm going up against the Fever, and especially Sophie, Caitlin, I will take Lexi Hull out of this. Last season, we was getting close, Lexi. We was getting really close. I'll take her out of this equation now. But especially those two, the black players understand that if anything happens, even though it may be things that happen during the game, shit that is so normal to happen during the game, they know that
Caitlin Clark and DiJonai Carrington already have history. During a game in 2024, Carrington jabbed Clark in the eye. The incident immediately went viral and was seen by Clark fans across the country in real time. No flagrant foul was called. Carrington was not publicly punished or fined after the incident was reviewed. In 2026, after being ejected for bringing her arm down on Cunningham's face, the same player had posted about white privilege 8 minutes later.
Did you, when you went and kind of swatted at Caitlin, did you intend to hit her in the eye? And if so, could you just, or if not, either way, could you talk about what happened on that play?
I don't even know why I would intend to hit anybody in the eye. That doesn't even make sense to me. But no, I didn't. I didn't know I hit her, actually. I was trying to make a play on the ball, and I guess I followed through and I hit her. So obviously it's never intentional. That's not even like the type of player that I am. So yeah.
Did you and Marina kind of laugh about it afterwards? It looked like there was later on in the game they caught you guys laughing about it.
No, I just told you I didn't even know I hit her, so I can't laugh about something I didn't know happened.
Clark's fans immediately noticed the connection. In 2024, Carrington jabbed Clark in the eye without facing any major consequences. Now she posts about white privilege, gets ejected, and strikes Cunningham in the face on a blatant foul. This August 8th incident was a direct result of the WNBA failing to properly penalize her in 2024. When a league does not enforce accountability, it can create an environment where players believe they can target Indiana Fever players without serious consequences. One fan wrote, Carrington already knew about the WNBA's history in this regard. In 2024, she tested it. Today, she tested it again.